All right, so we're gonna be watching some Reinhardt gameplay. I'm gonna try to remain as quiet as I can in it, but I do want to call things out. I do want to show you guys what was going on, but for the most part, I'm gonna let it play out as best as I can without interruptions. But I will, make comments here and there when something happens. You're gonna see in this video coming up. You're gonna see me playing what the aggressive Reinhardt gameplay style will look like. And you're gonna see me play very aggressive in the first couple rounds, first couple minutes of the game, and you're gonna see me play a little bit passively, a little bit defensively. This was last night with the Blizzard Bear intermediate team, so we have Toxicity and Chop on support. Then we have Toxic Junior with a random on DPS. Then we have Fresh and myself on tank. Fresh was playing my off tank Zarya. I was playing my Reinhardt, so you're gonna see from firsthand view of what a Reinhardt should and shouldn't do in certain things, and I will tell you when I do something wrong or when you should do something. So you just got to be wary with Reinhardt because you got to remember that Reinhardt is a very aggressive tank, but he's only aggressive if you have the proper comp. My big thing with Reinhardt is he works really well with a lot of tanks, but he works best with Zarya, like I've told you in my prior Learning the Basics video. It's his best tank to work with because it allows you to play aggressive, and it allows you to charge up your Zarya's energy, which is great for the whole team because a Graviton Surge is amazing to use. Now, with Reinhardt, again, he is a bullet sponge, much like Hog, but he also has a shield that can help him out, which so you can use to retreat. Now, again, in this video, you're going to see me playing aggressive. You're going to see me playing a defensive. I will tell you my thinking in some of the areas of play, and then I will just let it happen and let the video play out. So we're going to jump right into this replay, and we're going to watch it from my view. So the first thing I have to say about this game was it didn't feel like a diamond game like it said it was. This was, I believe, a 2900 game. But it didn't seem like it. It felt like we were playing, I want to say mid-plat, high gold players because of the way they played at the beginning. But that being said that's nothing against the team we were playing with. It was just that it seemed a lot of, I would say it seemed like we were fooling around a lot more than we normally would have. So I'm just going to play the video and let it go through, and we're going to allow the game to play out. So I'm going to hide this after pressing play and let the game play out, and I will tell you as much as I can when playing. Okay, so I'm going to stop it right here and just, say the first thing here. The first mistake they did was they played the high ground. So on Blizzard World, when you are Reinhardting, you effectively never want to play the high ground simply because it allows the team to walk on the point. You want to be playing either the point or the right or left of the point. You always want to be playing on the main floor. You're never on the high ground. The high ground is usually when you have like an Orisa or somebody who's got range. Reinhardt doesn't have very much range outside of his E. You do not want to be playing up there. So that's the first mistake that this enemy Reinhardt did, and it's a mistake that a lot of Reinhardts do. It's not just this Reinhardt, but this was the first where, it came off to me like either they were fooling around or they weren't playing serious or they were just, here to throw. It seemed like it, but again, it turned into a lot of fun this match because there was a give and take. So it was a tug of war, and I had a lot of fun with Naruto, and I had a lot of fun with Snoopy. I had a lot of fun with the other Logiclile as well. They are randoms that we picked up. We had a lot of fun, and we were enjoying ourselves while playing, or I was at least, and we were going back and forth in team chat and having a little bit of fun. But beyond that, we're going to keep letting it play out, and we're going to show you the do's and don'ts. So they just freely gave us a tick. You never want to do that. And Zarya is so out of position, we're going to quickly pick her off, followed by the Mora, and then we're going to go leave one on the point, and this is what I call... So when I'm talking about creating space, or when someone is talking about creating space, this is what creating space looks like. So this is what creating space looks like, where pushing forward. We're pressuring them. We're doing damage. And as you can see, Snoopy actually gets pinned. Bad choice. We're going to go straight at this McCree. And I actually have a little bit of fun by hammering him just for fun. And there's a tactical crouch. This is when we started going back and forth and having a good old time, me and this guy. I think I might have irritated him a little bit because of that. He did say something about okay. Now, this wasn't the greatest pick. I forgot how far a charge goes. So, it's a great pick to get, but it was a terrible choice on my part to push them off the edge. But however, because I've removed the shield tank, my DPS now get a quick pick on their Mora, and Mora is down while we're still pushing. Now, as you effectively see here, we have now about 50% of the way pushed, and we're still pushing. So, we have now effectively pushed it 3/4 of the way into point. Now they have finally contested. I'm going to get back on point and swing. And in my view, I didn't get to see any of the Ash or whatever. And I get a quick pick on him. I jump out of the Rein knowing it was coming. And I swing on that. I swing on that. They kill her. And I totally did not even realize where she went. I try to get a fire strike here. So, again, making space. This is what I talk about when making space. And get a quick kill. I have my ult. I shouldn't have. This is another mistake on my part. I used my ult and I shouldn't have. But it did get me the point, and it did get me a kill on both their tanks. But our Zarya goes down for it. Again, bad choice for me. But it wasn't, the super bad choice. So I saw something on the corner of my eye, and that's why I stopped. And I'm just having fun with the shield here because, again, I did feel like this game wasn't 100% serious, and it does suck. And so, again, we used one ult for their 5. So that's a great exchange, and that's something that I will say as a Reinhardt, if you see your team committing an ult, you don't want to pop a shatter. Or if you see a nano, you're better off just keeping your shatter for when they start getting back up, or when they're there's some more valuable choice of using it. When you get a nano, don't always press Q. Now, if you have your ult, yeah, you can press Q if you see a nice little, grab, but it wasn't a beneficial. Yes, they won one team fight, but we still have 5 minutes on the clock. Now, if they popped 1 or 2 and team wiped up, so it would be a bit different because they would have the ult, but they popped High Noon, Coalescence, Nano, Bob, and Shatter, and he only got 21% out of that Shatter. So he used Shatter and nanoed, and he only got 21%. Now, if you're using your ult effectively, guys, you should be able to get about 50% from a nano Shatter. But he only got 21% because it was an ineffective use of your ult. Now, I'm going to just charge in, go in, because there's no reason to hesitate. And I'm going to use this. Now, again, if you look at this, he's at 50%. So this is another mistake right here. So this Rein is just keeping his shield up. He's caught in a Graviton Surge, guys. What you should do in this if this happens to you, is not sit there and let the other Rein wail on you. Because you're going to see me go from 59%, and I believe I almost get my full ult just off of swinging on him. What you want to do here is you want to swing back to try to get your ult charge up. Yes, you're going to die, but at least if you can get about 70 to 80% of your ult, when you come back, you can get one nice fire strike, and you're going to get your ult again. But he just sits there and lets me swing. It's not beneficial. So, sorry, I got 65% of my ult just by swinging on him, and I was at 14 going into that team fight. Okay? Now, again, I have created space by making sure that the team can't get back in time. So I've created that space, so has my DPS. Now, my main tank, my other tank, my Zarya, and my Lucio is creating space. So I'm going to throw this out and get a quick kill. Did not mean to get this kill, and this is where they mess up. This is where this Rein messes up again. He pushes in. He's not playing aggressive. He's trying to be a fool about it, and I shatter the Ash. I actually meant this 360 and swing on the others, and I stop him from going in. They nano him, but they get nothing from it because he doesn't have his charge up, and he doesn't have any real abilities to punish us for. So in round 1, this is where we were talking. We're going like, hey guys, this does not seem like it's a goal. This does not seem like it's a diamond game. I believe their ranking was 2,900 or 2,870 or something with 2 or 3 diamonds on their team, but it didn't seem like we were playing with 2,700 simply because of the way they were playing. Now, you're going to see the don'ts of playing Orion right now. So I got to the point where I think we were all a little bit, having a good old time laughing and whatnot here, and we were fooling around. So here you're going to see a quick pick on the Widowmaker. Not going to lie, that shocked all of us, I think. I did think I recall saying something in VC to the crew and saying, oh, they don't have a Widow anymore. This is where I really was fooling around, is turning my shield back and forth and, playing like a fool. I really shouldn't have been. I should have been, playing a little bit better. Again, when a Reinhardt is shielded, you want to, not swing. So you want to play a little bit, aggressive but passive as well. Rein is actually at 82% charge already because he's been getting such nice swings, and he's going to hammer down, and this is how he wins the point. Now, what I did wrong here, guys, okay, so what I did wrong here in this scenario is I was playing like we were, having a, fun old time and throwing. I was turning around my shield, letting her get free antis on me. It allowed her to get her ult really quickly, Leona, and I wasn't playing with my shield properly. I was fooling around too much, and that is 100% my fault for doing that. I shouldn't have been fooling around. But again, when we first started this game, it seemed a lot different of gameplay, but now when we come back, we're all like, okay, let's regroup and let's actually, play properly. So I'm going to, we're all going to get back on the close spawn, I believe. Yeah, we all do. And we're going to hold them for a little bit right here. So what I could give to you here is do not play like I did on that first point. If you're playing on the ground, you want to be swinging and properly throwing out your fire strikes. Now, the one thing I could say here is we are 80% in nano. Swapping on that case was not always the best choice, but it did work out for us in the long run. And it's okay that we did lose the nano, but the nano could have, changed the whole entire pace of these pushes coming, and we could be, doing it back. But I was shocked with how well we were holding constantly. We actually pushed them back no matter anyways without the nano. So we didn't technically need the Ana, but it would have been, awesome to have. So again, my Zarya bubbled me a little too early. I wasn't aggressive enough. And that is where I'm going to say with a Zarya Reinhardt combo. When you get bubbled, or when you're pressing, or when you know Zarya is calling out a bubble for you, or you call a bubble, you need to press forward. You cannot just sit behind your shield and let her bubble go to waste. You need to get her charge as well. Like, if we go over to her point of view right now, she's only at 33% charge. I should have been able to effectively get her to 80% charge or 75% charge from just by pressing up, because that Rein was playing super aggressive. He was trying to do what we did in the first round, but just not as effectively. So you want to make sure when you're creating space, you're not creating space against 6 players. You're only creating space against 1. So in the first round, you saw me charge in and quickly pick off the Rein. That is fine. You're only got 1 or 2 there. But what he did was we were all respawned, and he knew we were all respawned. So he effectively should have stayed with his team. And what I would have done is, by creating space, I would have been exactly where I currently am standing right now as the Rein, holding that area while creating the space. The way to create space is it's the ground between the point and you. So that is the creating space. So it's not just the point, but it's the ground between your team. So you and your team. So that is effectively creating space. You're creating an open space of ground where your team can get nice little sight lines, and they can also keep you up while you play a little bit aggressive, but not so aggressive to where you're going to get picked off like that Rein did. That Rein should have backed up as soon as he saw us all there. He should never have pressed up, nor should have the Ana or the Zarya. Now, we don't know what's around this corner, to be honest. When we're doing this is just actually pure luck that I had my ult this time. So I thought someone was up there, and I see the Bastion, and I have my ult. So I'm going to charge that Bastion and quickly pick him up. Now, that is what you really want to do. That was just pure luck that my ult popped up as the Bastion came out. So, again, you might get that lucky pick. Now, for Blizzard World, Bastion is probably the worst pick combo to do. If I was going to go DPS here, it would not be a Bastion. Bastion does not work well on Blizzard World. It's just there's not enough sight lines for Bastion. Bastion, I find, is a hero that requires a certain amount of finesse to play, and he's not one of those heroes that you'd want to play on Blizzard World. Plus, he doesn't have a team that can play around him. First off, the first mistake for him is that he doesn't have a double shield. So I got a quick, easy shatter because they don't have someone to get and defend him. And then the second one off is they don't have a healer that can actually pocket him as well as, or, stop him from getting killed. This is why when a lot of people play Bastion, it's usually Baptiste and a Mercy playing on them, or at least a Baptiste. You always want to have the Baptiste because the immortality field will allow you to live. Whereas if you just have two healers, you're not going to live through Reinhardt charges. Or what you just saw there. I swung once and killed him. He was already almost dead just by my charge or just by our DPS. So you want to effectively play Bastion on maps that work for him. Blizzard World is too confined, too tight to actually pick a Bastion for this point. If it was the second point and we were going in on the second point, or they pushed the point a little bit more, Bastion might be the pick. But effectively, I would probably say on this point here, Torbjorn would have been the pick for him. But anyways, beyond that, again, pure luck that I got my ult there, but it did help us. We got them, and we're coalescing. I don't think we really needed the coalescence here, but whatever. I'm not gonna complain. It kept me up, but so we're gonna effectively hold this point now. So again, you're gonna see me creating space. Now again, the space is not just what's between you and the point. I don't want to peek this corner because now that I know they have a Bastion, they're not going to set the Bastion up in the corner. And surely in a second, you're going to see that I was correct. They're going to put him up there and they're going to just spray at my shield. So there's no point of playing the sightline of the Bastion. The reason being that we want to make the space here is because if we can, we're going to get a couple of picks here. Now, again, I'm going to show you what I mean by the Bastion's going to play the corner. Now I'm backing up because I see my HP. Again, very bad choice on the Rein to not just be swinging into it. And he actually, he screws his whole ult up. Now, I just got another 58%. So this is one team fight, guys, that I just got my, I got 60% ult off. Now, I hear the Bastion, I know that. So I see the Bastion here. Okay, and this is what I'm telling you about how him playing the corner. So if we go back a few seconds... So we're going to go back a little bit and we're going to go forward a little bit. Now, I hear the Bastion. I don't know where he is yet. But then I look and I see him behind the Rein. This is what I'm talking about when he plays the corner here. I know he's going to play the sight line so we can't cross by it. So what we want to effectively do here as a team is play into the wall. So we want to play on the right side of the point, effectively neutralizing the Bastion's ability to kill anybody. Now, the Bastion is repositioning. We think so. He's either repositioning. So I'm going to check back here to make sure he's not flanking. So that's another thing you have to do when you don't see a Bastion anymore. Always make sure he's not flanking somewhere, because if he's flanking somewhere, he might actually kill the whole team if he can get the flank off. So you want to make sure he's not flanking behind you. So always double check your backs. All right. So we're going to keep going. And we're going to show you the next part of this. So again, we're playing the right. We don't know that the Bastion's been swapped yet. We still think there's a Bastion. We're trying to get points here. Now I see that there's a Tracer as well. I saw her with the Storm Arrow. I have my ult again. So I get quickly picked off here. It does suck, but I get picked, and this is where my team actually, I believe, we get wiped. Or no, we retreat. We're slowly retreating back, and it's just Toxic Jr. and I who get killed here. So then we start losing everybody. So now we're effectively going, okay, let's not, push. Now, one thing I'm going to point out here, we're going to go back a couple seconds and we're going to watch from their Rein's point of view. So they kill me here and they're pushing forward. So I'm effectively dead, so I'm going to watch from it. Now, he's doing everything right. He's being aggressive. He's getting his ult charge. This is a mistake, though. They would have had the kill. There's no reason to shatter here. Zero reason. Okay. So on that, there's zero reason for him to be shattering. Okay. So they had the Brig was already dead. The Zarya died. There was no reason for the shatter. The shatter was overkill. And this is what I'm talking about when Don't just try to get the nice little, shatters. Don't over, extend ultimates. Don't put too many ultimates at all into a team fight that's already won. Always, this is where, again, this is the point where when we were on my on our defense, that I told my team, don't commit anything to this fight. There's no reason to. But still, we committed a coalescence. We shouldn't have. Personally, it's not beneficial to commit any kind of ultimate to a lost fight, no matter what. Even if they, you think you can save a teammate, don't do it. Just die. Get a fresh restart. They have not pushed the point very far, guys. So as you can see, they have not even pushed it half yet. So why are we should not, you never commit fights. Never commit to a fight that's already lost. So never commit a Q to a fight that's lost, and never commit a Q to a fight that's won. Naruto here put his ult down, and yes, it did get 2 people, but both those people were already at the death threshold. Like, if we go back a couple seconds and we watch it, watch how low these guys' health are when he commits. So he's doing everything right here. Everything is going right for him, right? Fresh is over there. He's not doing anything. Their health bars are already low. Look at this. There is no reason. No reason for that commit. There is zero reason. Hanzo would have died no matter what, and so would Armora. Like, Armora gets picked off here as well, so there was no reason to commit those ults. Yes, he got the res, but he's now effectively at 16% instead of 100%. So on the next push that we do, he could effectively have his ult. Now, we're all regrouping. We're all just chilling back. So this is where I've told my team, hey guys, let's group up. Let's not push anything. So I don't know where that anti-grenade is, but it goes to our team. But I was calling out Toxic not to get hit by it. So they've now lost the DPS. We're going to go on to point here. They're not going to get anything out of it. We're going to rally. And this is where we commit a few ults. But I commit that, and we effectively neutralize the nanoed Rein. There's no nanoed Rein anymore. He is now dead. So we neutralize the ability. We're going to push on their support line, and we're actually going to get a lot of kills here. We're going to wipe them, I believe. We wipe them here. Yes, we do. We completely push them back and wipe them except for their Mercy. So their Rein was gone for the whole fight. So we committed 2 ults to win a team fight. Now, I know here that the Rein is probably about 30 to 40% of his ult left. So we're about tied here. And I know this. I do tell my team, I recall that, hey, Rein is 40% to Shadow, and I do believe they have a Tracer Bomb and Grab. I do call out the Grab, and so, okay, this is what I'm talking about when backing up. So when you're backing up and you're antied, remember to keep your shield up. Don't play the whole jump, drop shield. This is where a defensive retreat is needed. You are now antied. You cannot be healed. You're effectively not useful to your team until you can be healed. So you want to retreat with your shield up. If your shield goes down, no problem, guys. Just make sure you're properly using that shield. So I'm effectively backing up here while Naruto is swinging. That is a perfectly fine example of a defensive retreat while keeping yourself alive. I'm at 99 health out of 500. I have 600 barrier left. That means I have about 3 to 4 McCree shots left before it breaks. I have 57% ult. I have all of my abilities, but what I don't have is a healer that right now to heal me. Now, Tox is putting in the damage that is required to heal me. Pock is about to heal me as well, and I'm going to get back up. So there you go. Now, again, grab. It was not needed. It actually caused them to get, as you saw Toxic up here, he gets the 4K. To watch from Toxic perspective here, I'm going to go back about 20 seconds. Toxic here is behind us all. He's behind the line. And because they're playing so aggressive, they're not worried about him. And they do this in this game a few times. Now, you see me get nanoed, and then you see me backing up. You see the McCree over there, fighting, and you see this, wicked one. But you don't realize, what he doesn't realize is they're not worried about, the enemy team is not worried about our McCree for some reason. And it gives our McCree an easy victory kill. So he gets the 4K to change the whole entire team fight. Whereas their whole team was focused on trying to kill me. And again, not always beneficial. So we're going to keep playing. I call out the McCree behind us, and I believe this is where, I actually said McCree behind you, McCree behind, and Toxic Junior was turning around, trying to do 360, trying to find out what I was talking about. So I'm effectively at 66% of my ult. Now I know Naruto for sure has his ultimate here, and I'm gonna try to bait. So I do exactly what he does. Ready? And I block it. So that's what I call, that is what I say when you're trying to bait ults. When you try to bait on a shatter, that is the 180 shield flip bait. He was trying it on me. It wasn't working, so I did it back to him, and I did get him. Nobody behind me, I believe, got shattered. If I go through my whole entire team, yep, we're all still up. So effectively, I've stopped his shatter. Sorry, he did get Pac, I believe. I don't know how. Pac was behind my shatter, my shield for the shatter, but they did get Pac. But that is what I was referring to in my previous video about the 180. He tried it. It didn't work. He played aggressive. He tried. I knew he had his ult, whereas some Ryans wouldn't. So remember, as a Rein, you want to watch what ultimates they have. And you want to be effective by blocking their shatter. Now, so this is where you can be aggressive because they no longer have their shatter up. There is no reason not to be aggressive. They have now effectively wasted the one ability that can stop you in your tracks. So you're going to play aggressive. You're going to try to kill them. You're going to shatter. You're going to get your shield up and block. So what I did instead of the other Rein, so what you saw in that one was I played aggressive, but I also was wary about their McCree because I didn't know if their McCree had ult or not. So instead of pressing E or shift or anything to do extra damage, instead I put my shield up because I heard the high noon. This is where this comes into play, guys. This on the bottom here. So as you see on the bottom, I have on the bottom I have this effective voice line. You want to turn this on so you can, if you're fighting, out of the peripheral vision, you can see that, hey, they're high nooning, and you can get that shield up. Now, another thing is the visual of a McCree, he goes red. So McCree, if he held a little bit longer, he probably would have gotten my shield down, and it would have been effectively useless. Now, I know there's a Zarya who is nanoed behind me going on my team. So we're going to effectively try to kill the Zarya, but we're going to have to retreat here. So this is where I call a backup because we lost Tox here. So we need to back up. Now, you see me doing the backup, swing, turn around. Now, I turn around simply because if I don't turn around, I'm going to die. So I'm at 13% HP. Tox is trying to keep me up, but I'm going to get picked off. So I do tell him, so this is where I got picked off, and I do tell my team, hey, come in and ult if you have to, but if you can win the fight. So I didn't know if we could win still or not because we still had a lot of people up here. But we start slowly going down, and basically we say don't commit any ults, and we back up. I go to press that way, and I said, no, screw it, we're going to back up. Everybody back up. Now, when you're playing Rein, you have to remember, you are pretty much going to be the captain of the team. You're going to tell them what's the best way to go is, who's low, who you're engaging, and you have to be vocal with Rein. You have to tell them when you're retreating, when you're engaging. You cannot just engage and not voice that because your team won't follow up if they don't know you're going in. So when playing Rein, make sure you're always trying to voice what you're doing or trying to call out targets or trying to, let them know you're retreating. And always make sure if you are engaging, you have the ability to engage. I am out of position here massively, and Pac gets picked. I'm going to keep backing up and just playing back. There's no reason for me to play up. I'm going to keep my shield up in front of me. I see that their point is being pushed slowly, which is great. It gives my team time to get back. I'm going to fire strike. I get 2 people with that fire strike for about 7 to 8%, which is great because now I'm that much closer. Now, Naruto. So this right here, guys, is not the way to create space. They have one person on the payload, but they have no healers. So let's just take a quick peek here, guys. They have no healers. Why is Naruto up here? Why is this Rein up here? There's no reason for this Rein to be up here. Their healer is here and here. They cannot see that Rein effectively. Why is that Rein up there? There's no reason to create that space. Where I would have created the space for this push and what I did in my prior game is right here. So you are in the sight lines of the healer while being able to heal. He was effectively so far up that he got quickly picked off by our Ana and our Hanzo and myself. Yes, he did some damage, but it did not benefit him. Yes, he got his ult. It did not benefit his team, though. There's no reason to play this deep as Reinhardt when you have healers like a Mercy and an Ana. There's no reason whatsoever. You want to be playing passively here. You have the point. There is no reason to press W during this push. There is no reason. You should just, we were giving you the ground because we had people down. If you have the ground, you should effectively never leave this spot here. This broken wall on Blizzard World is where you should be. This is where you should be as a Rein, just above it. You can be right where this Hanzo is, but never, ever press yourself up against a corner like this. He literally went into this room, blocked his sight lines from his healers. You cannot effectively heal. You can't see. The only person I can see from this angle is the McCree damage boosted. There's no reason to be up here, guys. Don't ever do this as a Rein playing on any map. If you are not comfortable playing Rein as passively, you shouldn't be this aggressive with Rein. You have to be comfortable playing passive too. There's a reason why he got picked off so quickly, is because he's out of sight lines of his healers. He's got no follow-up damage to damage me, and I have my team behind me. So he's going to get quickly picked off where he can't be healed. You always want to play in your sight lines. So if he was effectively playing right here and holding his shield up, he would have been able to do what he needs to do, create space. But because he decided he was going to come jump in, swing, again, he broke sightlines. Your Ana cannot effectively heal you from this sightline. There is no way this Ana is going to be able to heal you from here. And when you jump back and you jump up here, you've now effectively broken all sightlines from your team. You've now put yourself in a corner. And even when you came out, you got one-tapped. There is no reason as a Reinhardt to play this aggressive on any kind of point. This is where you should have been playing passively and just slightly pushing, giving a little bit of ground. He could have gave as much ground as he wanted here because we have to push him. We don't want to give the ground. So now you can see me just backing up. There's no reason to push because their Rein is down. I'm going to press up now because I know their Rein's down. I was just making sure nobody was on the left. And I'm going to swing, and I'm going to get a fat shatter here. I get 5 people in the shatter. Or, 4 people, and we get 5 kills out of it. So we get 5 kills, and this is where... Okay, so this is where I effectively would tell you you're doing it wrong. So I charged from the other point all the way over here. Yes, I got that lucky pin, but that was exactly what it is. It was a lucky pin. I have effectively put myself out of position. Now, my team did follow me up, so they knew I was going in because I communicated that I'm charging in. Now, I did put myself out of position, but my team did follow. So I'm not technically out of sight lines. I'm not out of position. I'm the only person I have sightlined is our Ana. Our Ana is back here. They cannot heal me because I am out of their sight. Now, yes, I pushed up. I did get a kill. That helps us out. And we're going to keep, we see the other Rein. I hear the other Rein's charge because there's a vocal to it. Plus, I can see it on the bottom. It tells me he's charging. And I'm going to quickly sidestep him and swing. This gets me effectively 22% of my ultimate in such a short conjunction. So I have 24% of my ult by that. Now, this is what I was telling people about when you are playing Rein. You want to use your charge sometimes as a defensive charge. So I'm effectively out of position. My team is already backed up. I can't do much by myself. So I'm going to effectively charge out and give the ground that I just took. There's no reason for me to keep this ground. There's no reason why I want to keep this ground. I effectively just want to get out back with my team. I'm going to sit on point, play the point, get a little bit of charge. There's no reason for me to press forward at all here. I can see that they have players on the other wall here. And I block the shatter. So, again, this is another nice shatter that I blocked. So, it effectively got nobody, as you can see up on the top left here, nobody got blocked by that shatter. I didn't even know a grab dragon, but it effectively, they had a nano to Reinhardt, but it's wasted. All of their ults they just used were wasted. The reason being is we got a big grab, and that is kudos to Freshman for getting that grab. That was an amazing grab. That is one of the biggest grabs I have probably seen on this map. He got the whole entire team except for the Rein in it. Yes, the Rein was nano, but again, the Rein got no value out of any of his abilities. There's no reason for that Rein to be like that. Now, I heard that... I'm sorry, I didn't hear. I was making sure their team wasn't behind. Anyone's behind. Now, I am effectively in position to get a nice bunch of kills. I get 3 kills out of it. 4 kills, 5 kills, if you want to get technical, out of my shatter. Rein ran away. Now, effectively, you don't want to play a Rein and run away. It is not the pick. Now I know they have a tracer. I know where she's going because I know the map. So she's behind us and I call her out. So there's toxicity going in and toxic going into on the tracer. I get slipped. And so again, this is where I messed up again here as a Reinhardt. I did not put my shield up to block the high noon. I knew it was coming. I knew it was out. I heard it. But I still decided that I was more important to swing, and I lost my main healer because of it. So we effectively always want to make sure we're blocking high noons and silly things like that, but effectively we didn't do that. So we messed up on that, and this is where I believe we do get picked off. We get a couple picks off. He shatters. Again, that shatter and nano went to waste. So, again, guys, it was a one fight. We were dead. There was no reason to commit a shatter or a nano to this fight. So in my Ana video, I was explaining to you who you should nano. Don't ever, ever nano somebody if it's already a one fight. It is a waste of a nano, guys. That was 2 wasted ults for, yes, you got a team wipe, you got a team kill, but it was effectively 2 ults that could have won them the whole entire round if they pushed more. Now, if they held those ults, they would have been able to push. This was effectively a lost fight. As you see when he shatters me, guys, all right? Watch my health bar when he shatters me. Just look at when he shatters me. This is, so again, this is where I messed up as the Rein. This is the do's and don'ts. Now, effectively, watch my health bar when he shatters. Yes, he charges in. My health was at 58. I was already dead. There was no reason to commit a shatter or a nano. That is overkill. It's a waste of 2 ults, and it allows us to actually hold them because we have ults coming up. And they don't have anything available. So we have grab dragon coming up and we're calling it. We're going to be like, we're going to grab dragon here. Now, the team, we do effectively want to push a little bit. We don't want to give them too much more ground. They have a lot of ground already taken. But we do push up. We do press W. Now, what we don't realize is here when we grab is that our Hanzo actually gets killed. So we don't see it. So it's our fault for not seeing that. It does suck, but we're still going to swing. We're still swinging. I'm backing up. So this is where this is where I would say is the best place to play here. So when playing on this map at the last point, now sorry. When playing on the last point, you either want to play here in this corner or effectively over here. You want to always be contesting this point. Now I know they have an Ana, and I know they have a Tracer, and I know they have a McCree somewhere. Granted, I just realized now during this fight that the McCree died. But I know they effectively have people to stop me. So I want to play over here in this corner. Because I know they have that Ana who can sleep me. So I want to play right here, well contesting the point still, but out of the sight lines of the Ana, so they have to push me. As long as I'm in this corner, they cannot, they can't do much. Now, they get a pick, and I get a big block on my hammer. But because the Rein runs away to get a heal, they effectively waste ults again. This is a massive amount of ults wasted. And our Doomfist, the Zarya is so focused on killing me that she lets the Reinhardt die, not realizing the Reinhardt needs HP, and we effectively get the win. So in this replay, I ran through every single thing I thought was wrong and every single thing that could have been done better, or what I did and what I did wrong. So not just the enemy Rein played wrong, sometimes I played wrong too. Now the enemy Rein did do his job effectively in a lot of those fights. He was creating space, he was doing damage, he was getting his ults really fast, and he was landing a lot of those ults. He was outplaying me several of the times with those ults. When I thought he didn't have it, he did. There's times when he didn't think I had my ult and I did. So it was a back and forth with this Rein. And like I said, the game felt really weird at the beginning, but then it just bopped into a real diamond game. I felt like I was playing against, top tier diamonds. And, I was actually enjoying the game because it was a lot of fun trying to win that round. Now, I honestly thought we were going to go into a third round here, but we actually held because I simply thought we didn't get the grab dragons off. And it was like, oh no, they're going to win because they have ults. I didn't really focus on what the Tracer has or whoever has ults because I wasn't 100% worthy, trusting myself on those ones. So in this, there was a lot of things right, there's a lot of things wrong on both sides of the Rein, and as much as I enjoy the win, I do need to say that it was my team that won, that it wasn't me. I did my job as the Rein, but my team really performed beyond expectations for that, and I, kudos to them, because sometimes in comp you get those teammates who just aren't. But I will say the both teams played really well, and both teams did really well. Like I said, the Rein played really well for a lot of those fights. I did too. We also did a lot of things wrong. But that is my gameplay review about Rein. So if you guys have any questions or comments, or you want to talk about, certain things, or you want to, confirm what I mean by certain things, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section, or message me on Discord, and I'll be happy to answer them. But that is my gameplay review for Rein, of the do's and don'ts. And until next time, guys, have a great one and take care.